Thank you for tuning in to another Cabral House Call. I'm Stephen Cabral, board-certified naturopathic doctor, and today I'm excited to bring you on another Training Thursday edition 3 excellent questions about rehabilitation, injuries, hunger after workouts, all sorts of great things that we have to get into today. So pretty excited to answer these questions that just came in just a week or two ago. So let's get right into it. Kimmy M is our first question of the day. She's asking, I seem to get very hungry after my workouts and can't control my appetite. What should I do? So really great question. And what I would say to you is this. Some people, their appetite gets suppressed after they work out. And one of the reasons why it gets suppressed is because they're producing a fair amount of cortisol. When you do produce cortisol, you can come from the fight or flight based response. And when you're in that response, typically digestion does start to get shut down. Digestion works at a greater level, what's called a parasympathetic nervous system. When the body's more calm and more rested, it's going to be more likely to actually feel hunger. And the reason is when you are in that fight or flight based response, certain mechanisms in your body do have to shut down to keep you geared up, ready to run away, ready to fight, whatever it might be. But some people do get this hunger pang in their stomach after their workouts. So I find the people who get most hungry after their workouts are typically pretty depleted in the first place. So I don't know, Kimmy, if this is you or not. I don't know if you've been dieting for quite a while now. If you have been, what I recommend is then doing at least a reloading meal, or I would say at least one cheat meal per week. And again, if you don't want to eat cheat foods, that's perfectly acceptable. I just know that most people do. It just means eat more carbohydrates at that one specific meal. And they can be good carbohydrates, but it probably most likely should be, whether it's sweet potatoes or something like that, a little bit more higher carbohydrate and good starch. So that would be one thing to make sure we're resetting those leptin and ghrelin levels. That's important. And the other thing, what I would say is this. If you are really that depleted, make sure that after your workouts, so let me just make sure I have it there. It says, I seem to be very hungry after my workouts and can't control my appetite. What should I do? Okay, so after your workout, I would recommend having some fruit. Your body's going to soak up that fruit sugar anyways, and it's going to help you repair. So again, you can wait a half hour to an hour after your workout if you'd like, just to keep tapping into that fat burning potential. But really after that, make sure you do give your body a little something sweet. So in Ayurveda, that something sweet first is going to hopefully curb the appetite later. So let's say you have a little bowl of mixed berries or fruit, or you have a banana. Eat it slowly, chew slowly, swallow slowly, all of those specific things. And then just wait about 15 minutes to 20 minutes then to have your additional protein and good fat meal as well. And so the reason I'm saying that is, first, cut those cortisol levels with some good fruit. Second, what you're going to do is you're going to tell your body that carbohydrates, that some good sugar is on the way. You don't have to be too worried because at the most you're getting is probably like 30 grams of sugar. Again, we're not talking about pure sugar like table sugar, but we're talking about all carbohydrates break down to sugar, so there isn't any one in particular. But the fruit is going to also give you that satiating flavor that you got something sweet. Sometimes having a protein and fat meal is not going to satiate you. It's not going to give you that taste on your taste buds, and Ayurveda is very big on this, making sure that your body had that taste of sweet, that it had that ability to know that the minerals it needs from that sweetness is going to be on the way. And then you can have your typical meal after that. Do give that a try. I believe that will work for you. It's worked with many, many people in the past. All right, Jim G is up next. Jim is asking, I tore my meniscus. Should I have surgery or try to rehab it? Okay, good question. And this could go either way. So there's actually, I would say, 2 main types of meniscus tears. So there's the outer tear, which, in my opinion, heals very well on its own. So it does take a while, of course. It takes somewhere between like 6 and 12 months. Now, you can still continue to exercise, but what happens is that little piece of meniscus that's hanging off, that's giving you some of that pain, eventually falls off essentially on its own. And the pain typically does go away. I've seen, and if you do the research on this, which of course I have done, and I always send to people when they ask me these specific questions, is that a lot of these meniscus-based tears resolve themselves on their own without surgery in about a year's time. So if you're not looking to go under the knife, if surgery is not something that is interesting to you, then I would say look at all of your options. I've helped a great number of clients not have to go through meniscus-based surgery, which is called a meniscectomy, where they go in and snip that little piece of meniscus that is torn. And we've done it very successfully, and it's been great. And all we're doing is we're staying away from those exercises that are causing the most pain, the most inflammation, and we're working around it. But of course, we are keeping those quadricep muscles strong. We're keeping the hamstring strong to balance the quadriceps, keeping the glutes strong so the knee doesn't start to internally rotate. We're doing those things. Those are very important. So you do have to strengthen the body to make sure that your body is actually in proper biomechanical alignment, because a lot of these meniscus tears don't happen just from sport-based. They happen because the body's in improper alignment. That knee, the whole basically femur is internally rotating, where the bones in the lower leg are actually externally rotating, again, from tight calves, soleus, gastrocnemius, those specific types of things. So, but then the other type of meniscus that you would want to explore more is when the tear is located more central inside of the meniscus, which does take a little bit longer to heal. Again, that's always your personal prerogative, whether, if it's that case, whether you would like to have surgery or not. Just always be wary that once you have surgery, there is no going back. Now, sometimes it's obviously and absolutely needed. So, of course, do weigh your options. Get a second opinion and see if there is any way not to have the surgery. And if not, then you might have to have it repaired. Okay, so Henry is up next, and he is asking, I read if you have trouble gaining size, you should really only focus on eating a lot and doing the big lifts. Is this true? So this is obviously someone who's done their homework. So Henry, in a nutshell, yes, you are absolutely correct, and this is the truth. Let me see if I can add a little bit to that, though. So instead of just saying yes. So Henry's basically saying you should be doing major lifts and making sure that you eat enough calories to out-eat your metabolism, essentially. You know, if you're burning naturally 3,500 calories a day, you need to eat more than 3,500 calories per day. That's basically the sum of it. And I would take things to help aid in that digestion, which means that I would, because you're probably going to be eating a fair amount of protein, a fair amount of, fats, all of those things. I would take digestive enzymes, if I were you, Henry, with those big meals, because when you're eating 1,000 calories at a meal, you really do need a little bit of help. Maybe a little bit of ginger or betaine HCl to get some heat in the stomach to break down the protein. Really, really important, because you want to make sure that that protein isn't going to ferment in the intestines or stomach. And digestive enzymes will help as well to break down all of your carbohydrates, proteins, and fats with all of those good lipase and proteases and amylase and all of the other aces that break down all of your foods. So the other thing I would say is this. Yes, you want to do the big lifts, which I've talked about. If you didn't tune into the last episode, you absolutely should, because this falls right in line with it. I talked about reconfiguring your workout for basically better results. So reconfiguring your workouts to really focus on the big lifts, but also in a specific order to get you the results you want. So that means, Henry, you should absolutely be focusing on those big lifts like the leg exercises and the upper body exercises that I spoke about in the last episode. But as a hard gainer, as someone who's trying to gain size, I highly recommend you work out every other day and not every day. So when I was a young exerciser starting out trying to put on a lot of muscle, I was working out too much. I was actually working out like 5 days a week. And you actually need those rest days in between, because your rest days are when your body is growing. So my recommendation for you, Henry, is working out like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then maybe doing a fun day on the weekend if you'd love to work out, or just doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, to be honest with you, and just doing some big workouts with those. Allow your body the rest days. Make sure you get enough sleep to put on that size. So hopefully that answers your questions, but you are definitely on the right track. Great job. Everybody, keep up the great work, and I'll be back soon answering your questions tomorrow. As a thank you for tuning in today, I wanted to share with you the number one system my private clients in Boston and now all over the United States are using to lose weight, decrease bloating, improve digestion, eliminate skin issues, and increase their energy all day long. It's called the Dr. Cabral Detox, and without going into all the details right now, simply go to drcabraldetox.com and you can find out how my proven, simple 7-day system can help you lose weight and feel great. There's no hype, there's no marketing, and best of all, it's guaranteed or your money back. And as a thank you for being a listener of the Cabral Concept, I'd like to offer you $10 off your next 7, 14, or 21-day Dr. Cabral Detox purchase in the month of March. Simply enter the savings code MARCH10, all in lowercase, one word, when checking out. Thank you again for tuning in, and I look forward to hearing your success story soon.